his work so far. He has not budged off his stance. He has not shown up for the virtual offseason program that began April 19th. And so as the draft gets underway, the Packers' biggest question is not who they're going to pick in the first round, but whether Aaron Rodgers will be back in Green Bay, because he's told people he doesn't want to, nor is he planning to go back to Green Bay. One major storyline to watch tonight.
Okay, and Shefty, with this coming out tonight, it applies a little bit of pressure. Doesn't apply enough pressure for the move to be made tonight. Maybe to have Green Bay move up, maybe even into the 3 spot, some speculated.
Well, Reese, the Green Bay Packers have been steadfast up until now that they will not trade Aaron Rodgers. And the Los Angeles Rams approached them in January and were quickly rebuffed before the Rams traded for Matthew Stafford. The 49ers called last night, but no team, I'm told, has made an offer for Aaron Rodgers at all. But if you're the Green Bay Packers and you know you've got a quarterback who's saying he's not going to come back to Green Bay, do you move off him tonight and try to get as much draft compensation as you can to date? They've been unwilling to do that. They've been steadfast in their stance, but we'll see if they rethink that idea going into tonight.
All right, Chef, you keep that phone charged up. We'll be needing to know all of the
phones.
Every phone's plural charged up. So, you don't know what's going to happen with Rodgers or the Packers and whether they become a player in this whole quarterback derby, but who stands to be impacted the most by all of this talk right now?
I think the first thing is just, I'd love to hear what you guys think. The timing of this. This didn't come out 2 days ago. Didn't come out this morning.
Was it an accident?
No, but I mean, Aaron Rodgers has got things to do. He's heading down to the Derby. I don't know if he's taking the Oaks in on Friday, but he's going to the Derby. I know that. But on Saturday.
I guess you'd say the Packers are in jeopardy right now.
Yeah. So I think the timing of this puts the Packers brass. He just talked about they're flying out there. They're trying to do damage control. And they've said in the past they don't want to move him. Obviously, he still has so much game left. But I don't know what do you make of this if you're Green Bay and all of a sudden you hear your quarterback say, "I don't want to be here anymore."
There's a lot of history now, right?
Yeah.
So it's a marriage between a team, right? A team and a club, right? So, they've been married and then they've been flirting a little bit, Green Bay, and then Green Bay, moved somebody in the house last year with Jordan Love, and so it's kind of been working its way this direction. Not well, and it's going to the point where we're going to split up and go our separate ways, but it's not an accident, the timing, because it's perfect leading up to the draft. The headlines are on Aaron Rodgers. It's kind of like, all right, do something about it.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, the timing of it obviously is quite interesting. A year ago, they kind of backhanded Aaron Rodgers. At least I felt that they backhanded Aaron Rodgers by drafting Jordan Love. Not only did they draft him, but they traded up to get him. That's what made it a backhanded slap to me. And so now Aaron Rodgers, a year later, says, I don't want to go back to Green Bay. But I'm thinking based on the way they treated him a year ago, and how did he get revenge? He just went out there and won most valuable player of the league. That's all. And now he has a lot of leverage. I'm really curious now how some of these war rooms are starting to be a buzz now with this news. Knowing that Aaron Rodgers is in play, you still got to factor that in today in those war rooms.
Well, he's from the San Francisco area, grew up a huge 49ers fan. How fitting would it be for him to be able to get traded to San Fran? Right. San Fran's sitting there at 3. Everyone's talking about, are they going to get one of these young quarterbacks? All week we've been hearing about Trey Lance or Mac Jones. You imagine them making some kind of move tonight to bring Aaron Rodgers home to finish his career off in the Bay Area? And then who knows what Green Bay would be able to pick up if they made that move.
And no disrespect.
Or what they'd have to give up.
Yeah, no disrespect intended at all to Alex Smith, but that would be the ultimate do-over for the 49ers, would it not?
Yeah.
I mean, Smith had a good career. Hasn't been Aaron Rodgers. And I went back and looked as far as getting Aaron Rodgers help. The last 2 skill guys that the Packers drafted in the first round, Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. They've been better off getting a receiver than to keep Aaron happier last year. See what they do. One thing that we do know is that the Jacksonville Jaguars, when they go on the clock, that decision has been made. It is no secret at all. It will be Trevor Lawrence, and according to our good buddy Todd McShay and Mel Kiper, Trevor Lawrence joins the generational can't-miss quarterback prospects. Guys like John Elway went in that famed quarterback draft of 1983, first overall, 2-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer. Peyton Manning out of Tennessee, can't miss, also in the Hall of Fame, 5-time NFL MVP, also 2-time Super Bowl champion, and Andrew Luck, who was on his way to doing those types of things before injuries shortened his career. And now Trevor Lawrence, 6'6", can move, absolute great arm, and now Lawrence is going to try to revitalize a franchise that over the last decade has been the worst in the NFL by win percentage, has been the worst in the NFL by QBR. And with new coach Urban Meyer, if you're going to start, you got to have the cornerstone quarterback. And there he is. He'll be taking in the draft from his home tonight. And our buddy Marty Smith is watching with him right now. Now, Marty, I want to make sure of one thing. Trevor got married within the last month, and I know you've been covering this closely. I'm assuming you weren't there on the honeymoon or anything like that. You've given him some space, haven't you?
I'm not too sure I'm not living the honeymoon right now, Reese Davis. #1 pick in the draft. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt. But yeah, man, welcome into Trevor Lawrence's draft party here in Clemson, South Carolina. And guys, the energy's beautiful. His friends and family have started to make their way in. Some 60 will be here this evening to share this life-changing moment with him. Trevor's been milling about all day long. He's shockingly relaxed for a young man in a day of this magnitude. But back to why he's here. He wanted to share this moment with all of these folks who've been so integral and important in his path to right now. Again, let's talk energy. It's not just beautiful here in Clemson. It is buzzing in Jacksonville, Florida. I talked to Urban Meyer this afternoon. I asked him about the pressure of #1. He goes, shoot, man, 25 is way more pressure than 1 is. At 25, somebody can take the prospect you have in mind that you're targeting. Nobody can touch #1. Now, he did say to me they narrowed their process down to 3 quarterbacks. We know that it's 1 quarterback. Now, there's one other thing here that I found to be interesting. Yesterday, there was a run-through here. Oh, what's up, man? What's going on? There was a run-through here with this guy right here. Hey, the man of the hour. What's going on? How we feeling?
Good, feeling great. Like I said, just good to be around family and friends, and thankful you're here. So obviously, we got a relationship from Clemson, so appreciative of it.
Well, I appreciate you having me, and I appreciate you walking right into my live shot. You're making me look better in front of all my friends. I just got a whole lot of cool points in front of you guys. I know that much. Two more things real quick. There was a run-through here last evening with the NFL for what we expect to be the way that the draft will unfold. And Trevor was sitting on this couch right back here behind me, and someone came to hand him a Jaguars hat. And him and several family members went, whoa, 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 hold on now. We don't want to jinx this. Now, so no jinxes. And last thing, I want to say one more thing about what Coach Meyer said to me today, guys. I asked him about the magnitude of this day for him as the head coach of that franchise and for the future of that franchise. And he said, in his estimation, it's the most important day in Jaguars franchise history. A big day here, guys.
Marty, I think that's an accurate assessment of what's at stake for the Jaguars tonight. And they've got a guy. I mean, there's no such thing as absolutely can't miss. That's not far from it. Inside College Game Day coming up. They faced off in the national championship game. Both Nick Saban and Ryan Day will join us later on in this show. And you don't want to miss Kirk's conversation with all the top quarterback prospects. You'll hear from Trevor. Trevor's going to join us again later. Our QB, talk to their QB.
Going into that tournament, everybody was predicting Trevor to come out the MVP. They called me the silent assassin because I'm kind of an introvert. I really wasn't there to make friends. I was there to win the tournament, and that's what I did.
You know, they say defense wins championships, but we might have another record set tonight, the longest wait before the first defensive player comes off the board. But which defensive guy can make the biggest impact on this 2021 draft from Cleveland? Right outside the Browns Stadium, it is resurgence alive. Lions fans even in the house and ready to go.